Hello everyone, I'm Mamu Minokamo. Thanks for tuning in. Today, I'll show you how to use VS Code's Remote-SSH feature on low-spec machines without getting disconnected. It used to work fine until recently, but after a recent update, the connections started dropping more often. After looking into it, I found that besides the settings I mentioned earlier, the internal file watcher got revamped, and now it uses more memory than before. Plus, I'll also walk you through a real-world example using Claude Code, so you can see exactly how to use it in practice. In this video, I'll walk you through exactly how I solved the problem. Be sure to watch until the end.
Hey there. Actually, I've been having a hard time with this issue too. The free tier on Google Cloud is super helpful, right? So if possible, I'd really like to make full use of it. I'm excited to join today and learn together with you all.
Oh, hello again, Ogaki-san. Alright then, let's clear up this issue once and for all. As you can see, the problem's already been solved, and Remote-SSH in VS Code is connecting just fine. With the right setup, even a low-spec machine can keep the connection stable.
Huh? You can use SSH in VS Code? So you can edit files almost like they're on your local machine? I've always used Terraterm and honestly, it's worked fine for me. But this sounds pretty cool. Count me in too.
Oh, hello Gero-san. Using just the command line must be tough, huh? That's why I recommend this tool instead. So this setup also has pretty low specs, only 1 GB of memory. And when I try to connect with VS Code, it often gets disconnected, and recovering from that is a real pain. Sometimes, when the cloud service does a forced reboot, the IP address even changes, making it all even more troublesome.
Ah, I think I've seen this screen before. Oh, wait, I might have figured out the cause. Could it be that there's no swap file enabled?
Whoa, spot on Ogaki-san? Yep, the issue was no swap file. So now, let me walk you through it using some diagrams. Step 1, you guessed it, creating the swap file. But wait, heads up. Just because you got connected with Terraterm doesn't mean you should go handing it all off to Claude Code. This is something you should really do with your own hands. That's how you truly learn.
Totally. I mean, if you can do it yourself, you really should. And yeah, if you try running Claude Code before creating a swap file, it just freezes right up. Oh wait, actually, more than Claude Code. Even just using VS Code gets you disconnected.
Exactly. If VS Code alone disconnects, then running anything with Node will crash just the same. I mean, Claude Code even says in the docs, requires 4 GB or more. And honestly, just making a swap file might not be enough, so let's put some extra safeguards in place. Just a heads up, behavior can vary depending on your setup. But hey, since we took the time to make a swap file, let's double-check that Remote-SSH in VS Code connects properly. If you skip this and jump straight into work, your memory might run out, and the process could get force-killed, that infamous killed message. And after that, you might not even be able to reconnect via SSH, forcing you to reboot with tears in your eyes. This might be what people call the OOM killer. All right. Looks like we're successfully connected via Remote-SSH in VS Code. Whew, glad that worked out. It's running a bit slow, so I've fast-forwarded this part, but you can see the swap file is clearly being used.
So basically, creating the swap file not only let us connect, but also stopped the forced disconnects. And honestly, just being able to use the VS Code editor is a huge win.
Totally. Thanks to that little tweak, we're now fully connected. No problem at all. I can run commands just like normal. So let's see if there's anything else we can do from here.
I definitely get how important the swap file is now. But hey, are we seriously going even deeper from here? So, what exactly are we doing next?
This is where Claude Code comes in. Of course, you could use Codex CLI or Gemini CLI too. But today I'm going with Claude Code. Lately, I've been using Codex more often myself, honestly. Even when I think I've got everything set up just right, there are still always ways to improve, you know? This machine's actually being used as a reverse proxy, so I figured Claude Code might suggest something clever.
These days, reverse proxies are pretty much essential if you're working with WordPress or a headless CMS.
Yeah, it's a bit more advanced, but if you want to run things on your own PC or in the cloud, you really can't skip setting up a reverse proxy. All right then, let's ask Claude Code if it sees anything that could be improved. Oh, but a quick heads up here. If you connect with VS Code, both the VS Code server and Claude Code will be running at the same time, which might cause issues. So to keep things simple, let's just connect via TerraTerm instead.
Wait, doesn't Claude Code require at least 4 gigabytes of memory? Is it really going to run on this?
Wow, sharp question. Believe it or not, it actually worked. That said, when I didn't have a swap file, it did crash partway through a few times. So yeah, swap really is a lifeline. All right, time to launch Claude. Type Claude into the terminal and here we go. So, what do you think? It's a little slow, but as you can see, the Claude Code interface has loaded properly.
Got it, that makes perfect sense. So technically it can launch without a swap file, but it crashes during task execution, right? This time, though, we've set things up properly, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what suggestions Claude comes up with.
Exactly. That's what I meant by crashing during task execution.
Wow, so it actually runs with just 1 gigabyte? I guess you never really know until you try.
Trying things out for yourself is always a good idea. So, let's go ahead and ask Claude for suggestions on improving our reverse proxy setup. We're not building a new configuration from scratch, so a simple prompt, like, "Are there any improvements for this reverse proxy?" should be more than enough. The config files are all in this directory, so Claude should be able to analyze them and come up with some useful suggestions.
Wow, so it really does run in a 1 gigabyte environment, huh? I mean, recommended specs are important, sure, but sometimes you've just got to try it and see.
And even if it didn't run, you could always copy the config files over to another machine and run them there. These days, Claude Code even transfers the config files automatically. Back in the day, we had to do it manually with SCP and all that. Things have definitely gotten easier. Also, using ChatGPT's codex to analyze files you've uploaded to GitHub. Oh, but don't rely on it too much. Your brain might start to melt, so be careful. Oop, looks like Claude has already given us some suggestions while we were talking. Let's go ahead and accept the proposal and have it implement the highest priority fix. Just to be safe, I'll remind it that this machine only has 1 gigabyte of memory. Now, to summarize the other suggestions. On the security side, it recommended adding HSTS and CSP headers. And for rate limiting, it suggested making things more granular, defining limits per endpoint. It also mentioned adding a WAF like ModSecurity, tweaking cache settings, and enabling compression methods like gzip or Brotli to optimize network performance.
Wow, that's a lot. Honestly, I didn't recognize half those terms, and I wasn't even sure what was being discussed. But yeah, I totally get that there's still a lot of room for improvement.
Haha, that reaction is exactly right, Ogaki-san. And while we were chatting, Claude came back with a new set of suggestions. Since we mentioned this machine only has 1 gigabyte of memory, it didn't just blindly apply the original plan. It actually adapted and gave us a lighter, more resource-friendly version instead. That's why it's so important for us humans to speak up first. Otherwise, the AI might jump straight into implementation, which can sometimes lead to a total disaster.
Wait, what? I totally thought it had already been implemented. I was just sitting here feeling all relieved. But now that I think about it, Claude must have picked up on the "this machine only has 1 gigabyte" part and changed direction accordingly.
Exactly, that's exactly what happened. And besides, this reverse proxy, it's already working perfectly as it is right now. So, yeah, you can leave it as is, but if you're looking to optimize things, Claude might say, "Hey, here's something you could tweak." Also, don't just skim through the suggestions. If you don't read them carefully, you might be like, "Wait, who changed this?" When in fact, Claude was just trying to help. And sometimes, when you follow Claude Code's thought process, you'll notice stuff like, is that actually right? Catching those moments really depends on us humans actually learning and thinking critically on our side. For now, Claude is sticking to things this PC can actually handle. So, yeah, today's session was all about learning some practical tips for working with AI the right way. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Until next time, see you soon, and goodbye.